Before the rise of Islam, the Arabian Peninsula lived in an age, later described as Jahiliyyah, not because its people lacked intelligence, but because moral clarity had been lost. As recorded by Ibn Kathīr in Al-Bidayah wa Nihaya, idol worship had spread deeply into Meccan society. The Kaaba, built by Ibrahim alayhis salam as a house of monotheism, was now surrounded by idols representing tribal gods. Tribal loyalty outweighed justice. The strong consumed the weak. Alcohol, gambling, and blood feuds shaped daily life. Yet despite this darkness, Allah preserved remnants of virtue within. Certain individuals, men who rejected idols by instinct and upheld honesty by nature. Among these men was Abdullah ibn Abi Quhafa, later known to history as Abu Bakr as-Ṣiddīq. Abu Bakr was born in Makkah approximately 2 years after the year of the elephant. His lineage met that of the Prophet at Murrah ibn Ka'b, placing him firmly within Quraysh. From his youth, he was known for intelligence, calm judgment, and refined character. Ibn Kathīr notes that Abu Bakr never prostrated to an idol, never drank wine, and never engaged in immoral gatherings even before Islam. He worked as a successful merchant, respected across Makkah for his honesty. People entrusted him with their wealth and disputes. His temperament was gentle yet firm, soft-spoken yet deeply principled. These qualities were not accidental, they were preparation. Among Abu Bakr's closest companions was Muhammad ibn Abdullah. Their friendship predated revelation by many years. Abu Bakr observed the Prophet's truthfulness, trustworthiness, and moral consistency in trade and social dealings. He knew him not through miracles, but through character. This deep familiarity explains what would later astonish Quraysh. When Muhammad announced prophethood, Abu Bakr did not hesitate, debate, or delay. His faith was rooted in certainty long before revelation. When revelation descended upon the Prophet in the Cave of Hijrah, it was not a moment of ease. The weight of divine responsibility shook him deeply. Upon returning home, he sought comfort and reassurance. Soon after, the message spread quietly among trusted companions. According to Ibn Kathīr, when Abu Bakr was informed of the revelation, he listened carefully and then accepted immediately. He did not ask for signs. He did not demand proof. He said simply, "If Muhammad has said this, then it is the truth." Abu Bakr's acceptance of Islam stands unique in early history. Many companions believed after reflection, discussion, or witnessing signs. Abu Bakr believed instantly. This immediate affirmation earned him the title as-Ṣiddīq, meaning the one who affirms the truth without doubt. Ibn Kathīr emphasizes that this unwavering certainty would later become the backbone of the Ummah during its most dangerous moments. Abu Bakr did not keep his faith private. Using his social standing and gentle approach, he invited others to Islam discreetly. Through him, some of the greatest companions embraced Islam, including Uthman ibn Affan, Talha ibn Ubaydullah, az-Zubayr ibn al-Awwam, and Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas. These were not ordinary converts. These were future leaders of Islam. Abu Bakr's dawah shaped the Ummah before it even existed as a political entity. As Quraysh intensified persecution, the weakest believers suffered most. Slaves and the poor were tortured publicly to force renunciation of faith. Ibn Kathīr records the suffering of Bilal ibn Rabah, dragged into the desert, crushed beneath stones, repeating only Ahad Ahad. Abu Bakr could not witness this injustice silently. Abu Bakr spent vast portions of his wealth freeing enslaved Muslims. When questioned by his father for spending money on the weak instead of influential allies, Abu Bakr replied that he sought reward only from Allah. This response revealed a critical truth. Abu Bakr understood Islam not as a strategy for power, but as submission to truth. Abu Bakr's public defense of Islam eventually led to brutal retaliation. Quraysh attacked him viciously, beating him until his face was unrecognizable. He fell unconscious, and many believed he would die. Yet when he regained consciousness, his first words were not about pain or revenge. According to Ibn Kathīr, Abu Bakr asked repeatedly, "Where is the messenger of Allah?" Only after confirming the Prophet was safe did he allow himself rest. This moment defines Abu Bakr more than any title. Loyalty that surpassed self-preservation. After the severe beating Abu Bakr endured at the hands of Quraysh, he was carried home barely conscious. His family feared for his life. Among them was his mother, al-Khair Salma bint Sakhr, who at that time had not yet accepted Islam. When Abu Bakr regained awareness, he insisted on seeing the messenger of Allah before anything else. Once reassured of the Prophet's safety, Abu Bakr asked his mother to bring him food and drink, but she refused, unless he renounced his faith. Abu Bakr instead invited her gently to Islam. According to Ibn Kathīr, the Prophet supplicated for her guidance, and her heart softened. She embraced Islam that very day. Thus, even through pain and persecution, Abu Bakr became a means for guidance within his own household. Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu knew the moment of migration was near. While the leaders of Quraysh plotted, he quietly prepared for the journey alongside the Prophet. He arranged camels, gathered provisions, and thought of every detail, yet never let fear of the disbelievers control his heart. Ibn Kathīr records that Abu Bakr's concern was not for himself, but for the Prophet and for the safety of the message of Islam. As night approached, Abu Bakr's home became a sanctuary of faith and patience. He knew that once the Prophet departed from Mecca, danger would follow him relentlessly. He arranged for secret supplies, tested the camel's readiness, and ensured that no detail could alert the enemy. Every action was deliberate, measured, and yet carried the quiet bravery that had defined him throughout life. When the Prophet came to inform him that the time of departure had arrived, Abu Bakr's heart leapt with both love and fear. Without hesitation, he said, "Will I be your companion on this journey, O Messenger of Allah?" Tears flowed not of weakness but of devotion, knowing that to follow the Prophet was both the greatest honor and the greatest risk. Every night of preparation, every hidden provision, every careful step, was a testament to his unwavering faith and absolute trust in Allah. This was no ordinary journey. It was the beginning of an event that would change the course of history, and Abu Bakr, the true friend, was ready to face every danger for the sake of Allah and His Messenger. During the Hijrah, the two took refuge in the Cave of Thawr. Abu Bakr entered first, cleaning the cave, blocking holes with his garments, fearing harm might reach the Prophet. When Quraysh stood at the cave's entrance, Abu Bakr whispered in fear not for himself but for the Prophet. It was then that Allah revealed the verse immortalizing this moment. "Do not grieve. Indeed, Allah is with us." Surah At-Tawbah. Ibn Kathīr emphasizes that this verse alone is sufficient proof of Abu Bakr's unmatched status. Throughout the journey, Abu Bakr constantly shifted positions, walking ahead, behind and beside the Prophet. When asked why, he replied that he feared danger from every direction. This journey was not merely physical, it was symbolic. Abu Bakr was already acting as protector, companion, and leader roles he would later assume officially. Upon arrival in Medina, the focus shifted to building a new society. Abu Bakr settled among the believers, participating fully in the establishment of the mosque, brotherhood and community order. Despite his closeness to the Prophet, Abu Bakr never sought authority or distinction. Ibn Kathīr notes that he remained humble, quiet and obedient, a model companion, not a rival. At Badr, Islam faced its first major military test. Abu Bakr stood beside the Prophet in the shelter, guarding him while he supplicated intensely to Allah. When victory was granted against overwhelming odds, it became clear that faith, not numbers, defined strength. Abu Bakr's role was subtle yet crucial, unwavering presence during moments of divine reliance. At Uhud, when confusion spread and some companions faltered, Abu Bakr remained firm. He was among those who rushed toward the Prophet when rumors of his death circulated. Ibn Kathīr records that Abu Bakr's loyalty did not waver in defeat, just as it did not swell in victory. His faith was constant, unaffected by circumstance. The expedition of Tabuk tested the believers financially. When the Prophet called for charity, Umar ibn al-Khattab brought half of his wealth, hoping to surpass Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr, however, brought everything he owned. When asked what he left for his family, he replied, "I left for them Allah and His Messenger." Ibn Kathīr describes this moment as the clearest demonstration that Abu Bakr's heart had completely detached from the world. In the 11th year after Hijrah, the Messenger of Allah fell gravely ill. The illness lasted several days, and the weight of uncertainty spread throughout Medina. The companions sensed that something momentous was approaching, though hearts resisted accepting it. During these days, the Prophet instructed Abu Bakr to lead the prayer. This decision was not casual. Ibn Kathīr records that some companions suggested others. Yet the Prophet insisted repeatedly, "Order Abu Bakr to lead the people." This was not merely an honor, it was preparation. When the Prophet passed away, Medina fell into silence, unlike any before. Umar ibn al-Khattab, overwhelmed by grief, stood in the mosque declaring that the Prophet had not died, threatening anyone who claimed otherwise. The community stood paralyzed between shock and denial. Leadership was not absent, but clarity was. Abu Bakr was outside Medina when the news reached him. He returned immediately, entered the room where the Prophet lay, uncovered his face, kissed his forehead, and said words recorded by Ibn Kathīr with deep emotion. "By Allah, Allah will never cause you to die twice." He then turned to face the people, not with panic, but with certainty rooted in faith. Abu Bakr addressed the Ummah with words that would stabilize Islam forever. "Whoever worshipped Muhammad, then Muhammad has died. And whoever worships Allah, Allah is ever living and never dies." He recited the verse from Surah Al-Imran, reminding the people that prophets pass, but Allah remains. Ibn Kathīr notes that it was as though the verse had been revealed that very moment. The companions wept as truth returned to their hearts. With the Prophet buried, a new crisis emerged: leadership. The Ansar gathered at Saqifah to discuss succession. The risk of division was real. Abu Bakr, Umar, and Abu Ubaidah hurried to the gathering. Tensions were high. Voices were raised. Each side feared the collapse of unity. Abu Bakr spoke calmly, acknowledging the Ansar's virtue while emphasizing the necessity of unity under Quraysh leadership, as advised by the Prophet. His wisdom diffused anger and hearts softened. In a moment of clarity, Umar ibn al-Khattab took Abu Bakr's hand and pledged allegiance. Others followed, not because Abu Bakr demanded leadership, but because Islam required stability. Ibn Kathīr emphasizes that Abu Bakr never campaigned for authority. Leadership came to him as a burden, not a prize. Abu Bakr ascended the pulpit and delivered a sermon that defined Islamic governance. "I have been appointed over you, though I am not the best among you. If I do right, help me. If I do wrong, correct me." Justice, accountability, and humility were declared as principles, not slogans. Soon after, rebellion erupted across Arabia. Some tribes refused zakah. Others followed false prophets. Many believed Islam would fracture without the Prophet. Senior companions hesitated. The situation was unprecedented. The Ummah stood at the edge of collapse. When advised to compromise, Abu Bakr refused. His words, preserved by Ibn Kathīr, shook the council. "By Allah, if they withhold a rope they used to give to the messenger of Allah, I will fight them for it." This was not harshness, it was preservation of Islam's foundation. Faith could not be negotiated. The most brutal confrontation occurred at Yamama against Musaylima the liar. The battle was fierce. Many Qur'an memorizers were martyred. Victory came at a heavy cost, yet Islam survived intact. From this loss, Abu Bakr recognized a new responsibility: protecting the Qur'an itself. Ibn Kathīr notes that this realization would soon lead to one of the most critical decisions in Islamic history. After the Battle of Yamama, a fear entered the hearts of the companions, not fear of enemies, but fear of loss. Many of those who had memorized the Qur'an had been martyred. Umar ibn al-Khattab came to Abu Bakr deeply concerned. At first, Abu Bakr hesitated. "How can I do something the Messenger of Allah did not do?" he asked. This hesitation was not weakness, it was reverence. But after reflection and consultation, Abu Bakr recognized the necessity. Revelation had ended. Preservation now rested upon the Ummah. Zayd ibn Thabit was entrusted with the task. He later said that gathering the Qur'an was heavier upon him than moving mountains. Verses were collected only with strict verification, written records, and memorization combined. Thus, under Abu Bakr's leadership, the first complete mushaf was preserved, protecting Allah's book for all generations. Despite ruling the entire Arabian Peninsula, Abu Bakr lived as he always had. Ibn Kathīr narrates that he continued milking goats for neighbors, even after becoming Caliph. When advised to accept a stipend from the public treasury, he accepted only the bare minimum, just enough to survive. Nothing more. He owned no palace. He walked without guards. His power did not distance him from the people. Leadership to him was accountability before Allah. As illness weakened Abu Bakr, he began preparing the Ummah for continuity. He consulted the senior companions about Umar ibn al-Khattab. Some hesitated, fearing Umar's firmness. But Abu Bakr knew his heart. "I know him better than you do," Abu Bakr said. "He is strong in justice and gentle in truth." The appointment was written, sealed, and announced publicly, ensuring no chaos, no dispute, and no division. Again, Abu Bakr placed unity above emotion. Abu Bakr was buried beside the Prophet, in the chamber of Aisha radiallahu anha, just as he had been his companion in life, in Hijrah, and in leadership. Ibn Kathīr notes the divine harmony of this placement. The Prophet, Abu Bakr, and later Umar together in life and together in rest. Abu Bakr did not rule long, just over 2 years. But in those years, Islam was preserved at its most fragile moment. He held the Ummah together when hearts shattered. He protected faith when compromise tempted many. He preserved the Qur'an when memory alone was no longer enough. He was not loud. He was not proud. Yet the earth shook beneath his certainty. Allah was pleased with him, and he was pleased with Allah. This was Abu Bakr as-Ṣiddīq, the friend of the Prophet, the shield of Islam, the quiet giant of faith. Before you leave, pause for a moment. If this story reminded you of sincerity, loyalty, or sacrifice, then let it change something within you. Make a quiet dua for Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu, and make one for yourself that Allah grants you truthfulness when it matters most. If these stories bring your heart closer to Allah, stay with us. There are more lives, more lessons, and more reminders yet to come.